Like they would go drive them to secluded car parks, park against the wall so that the passenger side can't open the door, and not let them leave for like an hour and things like that.
What the... All this talk about AI, all this talk about like investing billions of dollars and all, and they can't solve these kind of problems.
The delivery riders also. Apparently now a lot of them, they're so frustrated with the situation. They are identifying the foreigners who are working amongst them like illegal workers. You would rather have like actual BMT activities that people can do in Safra.
No.
5BX and all that kind of stuff.
I'm not saying you go to BMT lah. Why you need more BMT?
To prepare people.
How much you want to prepare? Over the past few months, Singapore just saw something very interesting be unveiled. It wasn't from Parliament, but from our youth. It is the FutureYOUth Charter, which is the result of 15 months of deep conversations with over 127,000 young Singaporean voices, led by the People's Association Youth Movement. It's a collective blueprint that feeds into Singapore's next chapter, touching on everything from mental health, racial and religious harmony, and sustainability and environment. Now, this isn't just a document. It's a signal that youth voices do shape our future. If you want the full story, listen to episode 632, where we sat down with Dr. Janil Puthucheary, chairman, panel of advisors to the PAYM Council, to talk about the movement behind the Charter and where Singapore is headed in the years to come. You'll find links to the full episode and the Youth Charter itself in the show notes. And now, on to the podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of what, Terrence?
Good old humor.
Good old humor, man.
Yeah.
How's the week, man?
Pretty interesting.
Why?
I think the last two episodes of the Yellow Bud podcast have been, been blowing up by our usual metrics, right?
Mm-mm.
So pretty interesting to see the kind of feedback people are giving and discussions arising from it.
Yeah.
How about you? Are you excited by it?
And enjoying the traction is getting, and very happy at the episodes themselves.
Yeah.
The first episode that we're talking about was the one with Dr. Ng Chee Meng. Second one was with Pritam Singh.
Yeah. His Virgin Singapore podcast experience.
We deflowered already.
Yeah.
That's why. So those two came out. I think they both have more than 50 plus K views on YouTube alone.
Yeah.
So it's been good. And it's interesting because if you look at the comments for the Pritam episode, I think a lot of people are just happy and congratulating us for getting him on, which is mostly positive. Of course, you can see some people who are just shitting on him.
Yeah.
But for the Dr. Ng Chee Meng's one, I think it is the most commented Reddit thread of any episode of ours. It's got like 250 comments.
Yeah.
And a lot of arguments.
Yeah. No, and the interesting thing is that the viewership also, it was actually quite slow at first. It was like, plodding along. Then suddenly it shot up, right?
Yeah.
And now it's still more listens than the Pritam Singh episode, which came out a little bit later, yes, but it's still quite a significant number. Right?
I think because, with all the nonsense happening in Gaza, I think this is going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Because with each passing week, it seems like the situation there is getting worse.
Yeah.
So her account, I think, is an important listen. I'm sure there'll be people who disagree with it, but it is an important listen. I think everybody should give it a listen.
And I think the fact that, she is someone that, I think we mentioned that Singaporeans can relate to, right?
Yeah.
She came from here.
Yeah.
And, it's no longer about whether you got no on-ground experience, you're Singaporean.
Or you only have on-the-ground experience.
You only have on-the-ground experience. Or you're Singaporean, you don't understand what goes on in the Middle East, all that. All that is blown away. Because she is, from Singapore, and she has the on-ground experience, and she has spent a lot of time there, and is an activist in that space, right? And it's not, religion or race-wise, affiliated directly with Palestinians or what. So that's what makes it, I think even outside of Singapore, it's an interesting listen.
Yeah. And for Pritam's episode, given that Parliament hasn't started yet, I can imagine once Parliament starts, every conversation is going to be about policy discussions and all. It was a nice window to get him on, and kudos to him for coming on and really just answering everything we threw at him. So
we tried to do as much as possible.
Yeah. So now the question is, who's the next big guest?
Who's next?
We're working on it. We have a plans, we have goals.
Yeah.
But I just want to keep getting more and more epic guests.
But also means that we don't do our regular 2% episodes.
Yeah.
For quite a while, right?
Yeah,
it's been, I think, at least more than a week.
About a week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to talk about the news again. In the lead up to, Parliament starting on 5th September.
Yeah.
Still definitely got stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But before that, Terence, what's our spiel?
Yeah, and this will only take 30 seconds. Yeah, it's really if you're new here, really appreciate it if you like, share, follow, subscribe on whatever platform you listen to. Because, it's not easy doing these interviews, doing these podcasts, and doing all the research that we do. And that's the way that we know that we're actually making impact when people actually click something to like, share, follow, subscribe. Right?
And and if I will leave a rating on Spotify as well. That always helps. And if you want to work with us, you can email us at contact@ministryofunny.com or drop us a message at ministryofunny.com. And you can also sign up for our newsletter, weekly newsletter that summarizes all our One Shiok Things at yalabat.com.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So this one is off the back of a meeting that happened on 26th August, Tuesday, between Ng Chee Meng and the group of platform workers.
Yeah.
So basically, Ng Chee Meng, who's the Secretary General of NTUC, newly re-elected MP for Jalan Kayu, narrowly winning against Andre Loh, who is also going to be in Parliament as NCMP. He spoke to, I think, about 60 or a group of platform workers to hear the problems they're facing. So there were 60 delivery riders, private hire drivers, and taxi drivers who met Ng Chee Meng at Fernvale Community Club, which is in his Jalan Kayu SMC. So this is the second dialogue. First one was in July. And I mean, over the past few months, there's been a lot of talk about cross-border transport. And that was one thing that came up here, in addition to other struggles that they currently face from the drivers or platform worker POV.
Yeah.
But what stood out to you about this as well? This is something going to be interesting to talk about.
I mean, it's been a very busy period for Ng Chee Meng, even though he's the temporary arrangement in cabinet doesn't include him, right? But the truth is, there is a lot of work for NTUC to do, right? And I mean, I think kudos to him. He's been at the front and center of this, and this being the second engagement with drivers. But yeah, I was just reading up a lot about this problem of illegal delivery work done by foreigners or cross-border, trips. They are illegal as well, right? As well as the problem of tele hitches, right? Which was carpooling, illegal carpooling in Singapore. I didn't realize it was such a widespread problem that on so many fronts, our delivery riders, which are mandated, have to be either citizens or PRs, right?
Platform workers,
right? Yeah. They are facing so many pressures from all over, there's this. Now there seems to be a very concerted effort to try to address these issues. But I guess the question is it enough?
Yeah, but I mean, platform worker, I can imagine, delivery rider, ride share or private hire, but taxi driver not platform, right?
I guess, but they are affected by the cross-border illegal trips, because by right only taxi drivers in Singapore and JB are allowed to do these cross-border trips, you see.
Yeah, and with certain restrictions also.
Yeah.
And I mean, what we said, right, the past few months has been a lot of a flurry of activity, because during the catch-up that Ng Chee Meng had in July, there was an announcement on July 4th that there will be a trilateral group to tackle the issues of foreigners illegally taking on platform work. So it consists of the Ministry of Manpower, Ministry of Transport, and Grab Singapore, as well as NTUC and its affiliated associations. I mean, I found it a bit weird initially that, how come only Grab? But I guess they are the biggest platform for platform workers in Singapore. And at least you have someone from the private sector inside. But basically, some of the things that came up was even an online tool for people to report. Like there's a website you can go to report an infringement, where you can report a whole bunch of violations, infringements related to migrant workers, use of locals as phantom workers, infringements related to employment agencies, labor trafficking. So I mean, yeah, it's a tool. And since then, there have actually been like crackdowns. In August, there were 3 foreigners who were arrested as acting as delivery riders in Singapore. Basically, yeah, they just did a raid. They checked 375 delivery workers during operation, and 3 were arrested as foreigners.
Yeah.
Then there was like 19 drivers who were caught offering illegal ride-hailing services in Singapore and across border with Malaysia back in, this was early August. So I mean, then I was thinking, okay, what exactly is the cross-border taxi scheme or CBTS? So basically, some of the things is like there's only one place where a Malaysian registered vehicle can pick up people from Singapore from, which is the Bansan Street taxi stand, and there's only one, and they can drop them off anywhere in Malaysia. It goes to one particular point, but anything above that will be added on as a fee. And likewise, Singaporean registered taxi drivers can only pick up from one place in JB, and they drop them off at, I think, Bansan, but anywhere else if they want to go, they have to top up. That's what I understand. And I think to get the license to do that, there are some processes in place.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you read articles over the past few months, some of the taxi drivers said before COVID there will be lines of people queuing up. But now sometimes you see Malaysian registered taxi drivers just sleeping in their vehicle overnight because they don't have passengers that will take them back. So it's quite dire.
Yeah.
And then apparently there's illegal touts. They just hang around there. And I didn't know this was that big a problem because I remember speaking to friends anecdotally, and they said, yeah, you can just get one of this, it goes up, takes you around and comes back. Which is illegal.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm like, oh shit, like what you said, already cost of living and all going up, but taxi drivers, tough life.
Yeah, I mean, I've also had friends who told me that, they do that. They use these car pooling or illegal taxi services, right, to go to Malaysia and back. But yeah, it does seem like that it's a real pain point for a lot of drivers.
Yeah.
And that's why they're taking to these, trying to change policy and trying to go through this trilateral group or NTUC to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not just, about the issue that people are talking about this, but also just in the headlines of what is being written about it as well, right? What about the headline has irked people like even yourself or Bertha Hansen?
So I mean, the Straits Times article, the headline is "Earnings of some platform workers up since clampdown on those doing job illegally, Ng Chee Meng." And the first paragraph, gives some context on private hire drivers and taxi drivers licensed to ferry passengers, blah, blah. Second paragraph, right at the top of the article, private hire drivers are now earning up to 15% more, while taxi drivers offering cross-border ride-hailing services have seen their incomes go up by about 30%, he added. And he being Labour Chief Ng Chee Meng. So that's that. I mean, when you write it so confidently, it sounds very quantitative. Like there's hardcore data.
Yeah.
But what is the truth, Terence?
The truth is, and that was the only mention in the CNA article, but not in the Straits Times article, was that Ng Chee Meng was just giving anecdotal numbers, right? Numbers that he has heard from his riders.
From his chats.
From his chats with riders, and not anything verified or cross-checked with anyone. So it's really just and the fact that this was reported as the headline, it's kind of unbecoming of news organization, I find.
Yeah, right? And I mean, actually Straits Times, they did mention it, but they're very smart. So for CNA, they literally said, asked how these numbers were derived, Mr. Ng said the figures were anecdotal and based on information gathered on the ground from platform workers. And then he goes on to extrapolate, it means that the deterrence effect has taken in place, illegal activities have likely dropped. Straits Times, they mentioned it, but very much in passing.
Correct, yeah. They did mention it,
Yeah, but I mean, while the figures from platform workers are anecdotal, what is more important is that the trend is going in the right direction, Mr. Ng said. And that's not a quote, so it's paraphrased by the journalist or by whoever wrote this article. And I mean, before we started talking about this, right, when we were discussing this as a topic, when I scanned through, my initial thought was like, hey, actually, Ng Chee Meng, NTUC, okay lah, 15 to 30% is quite significant lah. But when you read it, then you're like, shit, why? I mean, it feels like what they're doing is a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like hearing from the taxi drivers in the articles over the past few months, it sounds quite difficult, quite tough. So this is a good thing. But when they do stats like this, right, then it really starts to feel like, hey, what is this wayang thing?
Yeah.
How real is it?
Yeah,
and then also like, I don't know how often this happens, but at the event, journalists were allowed to attend, but they were not. Media were invited to observe but not report on the exchanges at Tuesday's dialogue, which lasted more than 1.5 hours. Maybe it's Chatham House rules lah. You know, you want a safe space, you want people to be honest. So okay lah, understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah lah, those are numbers.
Yeah, because it's not just the articles. You go onto YouTube and you look up the Straits Times and then the CNA coverage of this. Because both of them, they interview Ng Chee Meng. And the Straits Times one is literally Ng Chee Meng, higher incomes for platform workers after enforcement action taken. That's the Straits Times video, the title of the video. So straight away they're saying that, the platform workers have higher incomes already, you know. The nuance of whatever he's saying is not reflected in the title. So it's a bit, I feel it is a bit misleading. But again, you look at the CNA one, I think they are a bit more careful about it. Enforcement against illegal platform workers in Singapore has had deterrent effect, right? So that is something, I think, deterrent effect, that is a bit more subjective, right? But to say that platform workers had higher incomes without, you know, and then that he admitted as anecdotal evidence, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that you should put as the headline or title.
Yeah, because the CNA article, the title is more about what happened. Platform workers air frustrations on unclear fares, illegal hitch rides, and other issues in dialogue with Ng Chee Meng, which is very reflective because you read the second half of both articles, right? You hear from the platform workers the problems they're facing. Apparently, when they accept like a job to deliver something or to pick up someone, there's no breakdown on the cost. And even for them, it sounds like, oh shit, like there's a distance multiplier, which they have no idea. So that feels like a real problem. And that feels like, if Grab Singapore is on the trilateral panel, this is things they need to fix. But yeah, reading the CNN article, it feels a bit more complete. Whereas sometimes it's like,
rah-rah.
King kumbaya, man. Everybody hold hands and celebrate.
I think it's not a very it makes light of the situation. Because actually there's a lot of articles, like you said, in the last few months and you know, things being done to talk about it. But the way it's framed by Straits Times is like, problem solved, problem solved from the actions that we did already, without actually any real hard evidence about it. But I was just reading about the illegal carpooling and all that. Actually, like a lot of quite scary stories of these like hitching and all that. Where, you know, like creepy, a lot of creepy guys asking for services.
Not just guys, girls women drivers also.
Yes, sorry for the sexism. But both guys and girls. A lot of creepy riders, creepy drivers also, right? Kind of shady to take these carpools. Like, would you take these carpools or advise your family to take these carpools yourself?
I mean, depending on who's taking it, because like you know, some of the one article they were talking to students, right? I mean, if you're a burly young man, and it's like when I was younger and all, not to say I was burly or anything, but if some of the cost comparisons was like $10 to $12 versus $30.
Yeah.
As a student, that is huge. And you're taking it during the day. I mean, I would recommend people be careful, but I don't blame people for taking it. Right. It's a huge difference, man.
Yeah. But the scary thing is just some of the convicted cases of like, you know, the illegal carpools where the person, you know, ends up assaulting the passenger or something. The stories just sound really quite scary. Like they would go drive them to secluded car parks and park against the wall so that the passenger side can't open the door, and then basically just corner them there and not let them leave for like an hour and things like that. So these are stories. These are you know, illegal drivers who have been convicted of these cases. But I'm just thinking, I guess because these carpooling they're not subject to any kind of like service standards or what, right?
Yeah.
So even when you're taking it as a young person, you might not understand that, hey, you're in a dangerous position, that someone is about to, do something bad to you, right? Because, I mean, if anybody drove you to a secluded car park and then asked you to wait there for an hour because his friends bring the key over, I think alarm bells would go off, right, for most adults.
Yeah.
But if you're a young student and everything, maybe you don't understand that dynamic, and then you think like, oh, this is what it's normally like, and then you just play along and then end up something bad happens to you.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
In those court cases, like, there was assault, because I mean, is there the thing that screws the passenger over by saying you made the choice? No, there is still
sexual assault. It becomes a crime, but there's nothing there's no company that you can call, no authority that you can ask for help, or you can't, if you're in a dispute with a driver or something like that, well, what can you do, right?
Yeah,
there's nobody to ask for help, right?
Yeah. So the issues faced by these platform workers, there's cross-border international, but locally there is the Telegram chat. Apparently the Telegram chat ballooned to like 192,000 during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of understand why also.
Yeah.
Now it's like 45,000. And there's a screenshot in the article. Literally, you put like pickup point, drop off, date, time, and people just accept or reject or offer these hitch rides.
Yeah.
But have you ever taken a Grab share or a hitch or Grab hitch? Have you?
I've tried but
I've tried Grab hitch and never
got it. Usually women get a higher hit rate on Grab hitch.
Yeah, I don't think that's being sexist also. It's true.
It's true.
Yeah. So I mean, but this thing, at the end of the day, like if LTA or the government or NTUC is cracking down and all, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's just when you report, Straits Times, come on like just be fairer.
Yeah.
And don't do this kind of stupid ass titling.
Yeah. But some people are also calling out this whole trilateral thing that is being done, right? In that they're saying that it's basically the base fares that are the issue with a lot of these platforms, right? The base fare itself starts from a very low base already, so that they have to, do a lot of, quite I wouldn't say superhuman, but definitely go out their way to hit certain numbers to ensure that they have incentives, right? Because the base fare itself is too low for them to cover their costs and all. So they do say that, hey, this trilateral group, Ng Chee Meng has the capacity, the power and the influence to talk to these people in decision making positions in Grab and all that, right? That should be the priority rather than like focusing on enforcement. I did see some of these perspectives.
Something with the platforms themselves. That's why Grab being part of the trilateral thing feels a bit, it feels a bit odd.
But that's basically the whole tripartite system in Singapore, right?
Private, public, and what's private, public, and?
Your unions, right?
Oh,
unions being in working alongside the government.
Yeah. But actually, there have been also mixed reactions about the clamping down. And one of the negative circumstances, apparently there are people who work in Singapore from JB who have friends who live nearby them. So they come in with a Malaysian registered vehicle, and then they pick up, they drop them off at work in Singapore, and then they pick them up and go back. So apparently got some motorists who've been stopped and questioned for hours. Because they're like, okay, so we know you want to clamp down, but you can't just be clamping on every SUV that is Malaysian registered. So that one, unfortunately, is unlucky. Because there's nothing really that differentiates them from an illegal private hire vehicle. There's no license. It's just a bunch of people you can say your friends. And then there's also been talk about, I think this was something proposed by LTA about an app to book cross-border. But I think feedback from the taxi drivers is like that would be difficult because I think there's a limited amount of taxi drivers that can provide the cross-border. I think it's about 400 a month.
Yeah.
And it's underutilized now. So when the taxi drivers themselves were interviewed, they were saying, hey, if you open it up to this app, it's going to be, then it's flooding the market. So it's only going to be even harder for them. So it doesn't seem like there is like a one perfect solution. And I know people, even like Kelvin Cheng said, he doesn't understand why Malaysian and Singapore registered vehicles cannot offer cross-border services freely. Which I feel is a bit like, but when it comes to, he said as long as they pay the fees, the insurance and all, but I think it just gets exponentially more complicated. If let's say there's an accident in Singapore, then what happens? So when you simplify it like that, I think a bit too easy.
Probably because he's not affected. He's not someone who needs to use these services.
Yeah, I mean, he said he doesn't go to Malaysia often.
Yeah.
So, but
the other thing also is how the delivery riders also, apparently now a lot of them have, they're so frustrated with the situation, they're taking policing, not say policing into their own hands, but they are identifying the foreigners who are working amongst them, like illegal workers amongst them.
And reporting them.
And reporting them themselves, because they're so frustrated with the situation. And then when they gather with other, delivery riders, and they see someone who's either hiding his face or not daring to have eye contact and stuff like that. Yeah, they report. Yeah. So they talked about, a couple of the articles talked about it where I think like there were a bunch of delivery riders who gather at NEX, in Serangoon. And so there are some of amongst them who are foreigners, and those people have been reported. But then those foreigners don't dare to go back there already. Yeah, but it sounds like the kind of thing where
dog eat dog.
It's a dog eat dog world. Yeah. They really.
But that's life, Terrence?
Correct. But I guess that's the situation of platform work, right?
Yeah,
it's a very new space, not a lot of established rules, and there are people trying to game the system, and then there are others who are very frustrated and are policing it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, when people are feeling cornered, they act out.
Yeah.
And what I found surprising is hearing that even the amount of money you earn per trip and all, there's no calculation that is transparent. That was damn surprising.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can imagine, right, all the different things, peak hour, traffic and all the shit, and they just give you a number that you just have to suck thumb and take it.
Yeah. And the thing about the platform work as well, they said that they're looking at using technology to try and solve some of these delivery rider issues. Like using facial recognition, for example, for the delivery rider to use the app, right? Which would add a layer of inconvenience if you wanted to game the system and like rent out your account to a foreigner.
Which people actually do.
People do, yeah. So
I think the market rate was $150 for a Deliveroo account.
Yeah. So
for 1 month.
These are problems that are solvable by technology, right? So we should be pushing for these technological solutions to these issues, and not like letting the platforms off the hook by saying like, oh yeah, you're working closely, monitoring the situation and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's something that they need to invest the resources to actually build into their own system, so that Singaporeans in general, we're not taken for a ride. I mean, pardon the pun, not taken for a ride by the platforms as well.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, like all this talking with the delivery riders and all, how much agency do they have to change the platform, right?
Yeah.
Have this kind of dialogue with the platforms. I don't know whether that can be public and whatnot, but yeah, it's bullshit. It's again the platform, all this talk about AI, all this talk about like investing billions of dollars and all, and they can't solve these kind of problems. Because I'm looking, Carousel, literally, Deliveroo account, $150. Listed new.
Yeah.
So you can literally get an account. So monthly straight, $150 non-negotiable. 2 weeks straight, $80 non-negotiable.
2 weeks what, sorry?
So you get the account for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because to get a Deliveroo account, I guess there are some approvals and all.
Yeah.
But they basically give you the login details that you can log into their Deliveroo app.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening, but yeah, solvable.
Yeah, this reminds me of the early days, of like social media. Oh, it'll connect us all.
Yeah.
Oh, Arab Spring, everything. It'll bring democracy to the world. And then you see where social media is now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what platform work was like. Initially, it was like, oh yes, it liberates you and gives you opportunity.
I mean, we have done a video for a platform worker company, and that was a spiel, right?
Yeah. We were swept up with
control your time.
We were swept up by the exuberance around what the potential it could do, like it could bring. But now, we start to see like it causes fractures in society also. Right?
Yeah. I don't know, like Grab now has their own taxis also, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's getting a bit powerful, But yeah, man.
Well, yeah. Speaking of powerful, right? You know, one of the things that Singapore is known for is our commitment to the defense of Singapore. But you know, I think Desmond Choo, like an MP, our Minister of State, wants to take that a step further.
I mean, he is an MP.
Oh yeah. MP and Minister of State.
Yeah. He's the new CEO of Safra. And he was part of Tampines Changkat SMC in the 2025 elections after being part of the Tampines GRC in 2020. So he won against Kenneth Foo, I believe, by winning 56%. So he's an MP. He was one of the 2 backbench MPs that PM Wong appointed to the cabinet. And yeah, he's Minister of State for Defense and Safra President.
Yeah.
So he is in the news because there was a speech he gave on August 22nd. The main thing was that he wants Safra to go from a social club to a defense movement. Because now I think everybody thinks of Safra as like, you know, got Ashton's, got gym, swimming pool, and all that. But no, he wants it to be a defense movement, to bring defense closer to the community, you know. How do you feel about that, Terence?
I mean, initially I thought this was just some just talking cock, right? Basically, like, everything is a pillar of national defense, blah blah blah. But I thought it was quite interesting that they're literally going to introduce weapon confidence by shooting at Safra air rifle rangers, right? So allowing pre-enlistees, that means people who haven't even gone to BMT yet, to experience what shooting is like and gain weapon confidence by shooting air rifles at Safra. So kind of like a pre-BMT for BMT enlistees.
Because army not long enough already, man. Why spend your freedom before army when you can do exactly what you're going to do in army before army?
Exactly, So it's bringing a lot of these army activities even further downstream, right, to people who not even enlisting yet. But how do you feel about that?
I mean, if you think about it, moving from a social club to a defense movement, right, practically speaking, I actually think maybe it is good education for everyone to understand how fragile defense can be, or how fragile being such a small country can be. And but this idea of air rifles before BMT as an example, I think is damn weird.
Oh, yeah.
Who the hell will take it up? First of all, it's air rifles. Okay, air rifles, you fire, you're like, hey, so easy to fire gun, no recoil. Then you go BMT, you get your shoulder like blown off.
Have you fired air rifles?
I have.
I've never tried before.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this air rifle, the only equivalent is the school one. And there's really no recoil. There's no recoil at all. So then it feels like, okay, and I mean, if you're going to be doing it for like 3 months at least, you go in front, go for it feels weird. But the overall picture of like, bringing like a defense movement, I don't know, man, maybe there's some value to that.
Yeah. But I mean, that you say the air rifle thing has no, is no equivalence to in the actual military itself, right? But you're thinking that you would rather have like actual equivalents, like actual BMT activities that people can do in Safra, like 5BX and all that kind of stuff.
I'm not saying you go to BMT, Why you need more BMT?
To prepare people.
How much you want to prepare?
For mental prep.
No. I don't think. I think BMT, you go into BMT, you get culture shock, shell shock. I think that's enough.
Because I think it's quite interesting that, Safra, we always think of Safra as like after you ORD already, or after, you're in the army and everything. Then Safra is your link, your last remaining link to the army, like, after reservists and all these things, right? And that's where the family activities and the general, the little perks that you get as a Safra member, that's what keeps your mind grounded to the military and total defense, and you bring your family into that. But now they're taking it the other way, right? Before you enlist, they make Safra a destination for you to come ready, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that like like you say, total defense and prepare people? isn't it a good thing to get people more exposed to what actually goes on in the army rather than be like so shell-shocked when they enter at 18?
I mean, okay, then maybe that example wasn't the best lah.
You know what air rifle wasn't.
Yeah, but that being said, I remember when I think I was in Korea, and there they have like air rifle shops, like air rifle range shops where you can go in and they have this. It's like a mini bowling alley, and you can choose what weapon you want to shoot.
Yeah,
and it was damn fun because I did it with my wife.
Oh yeah, correct.
And it was damn fun, and it's like, wow, you can choose like sniper, and of course, again, no recoil lah. So I think my wife was like, oh. Can fire a gun all. I'm like, hey, okay, this is different lah, okay, different. But that was fun.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just this example. It's like saying, okay, this is pre-BMT. You come, you try what? No, then make it fun,
Yeah.
Like have paintball, Safra paintball.
Yeah. I think there is, yeah.
There is?
I believe so, yeah.
No, I didn't know whether Safra. I know other country clubs got. But maybe it is just the packaging of it.
Yeah.
He's coming from it from a factual thing. But maybe it's packaging lah, packaging.
Yeah. There's paintball arenas at like Home Team NS and all that.
Oh, there is.
Safra has target spots.
So then you go all the way out, having dinner, right? Suddenly someone fall in. And then everybody goes stand out. You're having your Ashton's dinner and all.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I have to. It's fall in, right?
Yeah.
No, turn out.
Yeah.
Cannot turn out. You carrying back. You have to put everything on the floor.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. So in some ways, you support there being more citizen engagement between the SAF and like the citizenry, like the volunteer corps. The volunteer corps. What do you think of that?
I mean, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, like when I say a closer thing, it just feels like, okay, maybe we are all really taking national defense for granted. So if Safra can play a part in that, maybe to showcase certain things, not to scare people, then maybe even for parents or family to feel what your son or brother or cousin or partner is going through, then maybe that can be a good thing.
Yeah. But some people were staying online. Why don't they actually do these activities at army camps itself? Why need to bring it to where this is the civilian? It's the civilian arm already, right? Why bring the army stuff out into the civilian part of things? Where I mean, Safra was set up to, I guess, it's sort of show appreciation for NS men and everything, and give them a place, like I said, to gather and talk about these things also, right? Then why bring the army out of the camps into the
camp was security or
true lah. Then it's called open house and all that.
But open house also, then it's not a permanent thing.
True.
Yeah, it's not a permanent thing. And I think that one, you don't want just people opening up or lowering the security of your army camps.
Yeah. Correct lah. But some people also are saying that they should just focus on the perks for NS men and really make them really enjoy Safra clubhouses and all. Do you do anything at the Safra clubhouses?
No, not for a long time. I think way back when I was younger, maybe the gym or something.
Yeah.
But maybe not enough.
Yeah, because they got big swimming pools and facilities.
And for kids, I guess
kids and families, actually, the indoor playgrounds, for example, some of them are really huge. I mean, not that they're run by Safra but Safra has the space, I suppose.
Safra has the space. And I mean, another thing he also said is that he wants people to kind of ensure SCF servicemen and women have a complete career, which includes a strong second act after they leave the armed forces. So I feel like Desmond Choo is like, before BMT, we want to prepare them for BMT. But while army, we want to prepare them for after army.
Yeah.
The whole life is army. What do you think about that goal?
It's basically the inchecks will go to the air rifle range, and then they will become... They'll take over the running of these air rifle ranges.
The strong second career is here. Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a full ecosystem for them.
Yeah. I mean, that one... okay, so he's new, so maybe he's setting out the vision, I wouldn't say it's a bad vision, because if it can mean people leaving the army are more employable, can have a better standard of living, can provide for their families, I think it's a good thing. Of course, online you get haters. They're like, hey, but they just parachute into ministries of stat boss. But that's for the very senior people.
Yeah.
You can imagine if you're not on the commission officer track because of education and all that, come out might be a bit tricky.
Yeah. Safra might be a good middle ground. Like you sort of you have 1 foot out in the civilian world and 1 foot in. Because I mean, the stereotype is that these people who spend their lives in the military are not able to adjust to the private sector very well, right? maybe in some sense being in a Safra where they have to they get to taste what it's like. It's in some way it's almost like these pre-enlistees they get a taste of what civilian life is outside of the army right. So they go through Safra first. So Safra is like this middle ground between before and after army.
We'll see you in 40 years. After you finish the air rifle course and all. But I mean, this article also is really, I think they want to really prop him up as Safra, because he was talking about how, how busy he is now juggling his new roles. Apparently, he wakes up in the morning at 5 a.m. To read his emails while on a home bike. Then I feel like, okay, there's the point of this article, is to, give him a good start. He wakes up earlier than previously to read his emails while exercising on a stationary bike. So maybe not 5 a.m.
But I read the stuff about how he's not able to have time with his family.
Yeah, that one.
I mean,
that one a bit tricky. But I mean, I think that's the thing about MPs, which you really have to give them credit.
Should we give them credit?
Yeah, okay.
That's my thrust of it. Like, should we lionize people who, sacrifice being successful dads for their families also?
I mean, maybe not say give him credit, but is it empathy or something? Like, their jobs, they really are sacrificing a lot. Whether they should be given applause and all, I think it's a worthwhile debate because reading it, I think on Monday he has dinner with his kids. Apart from that, I feel like they don't have dinners together.
Yeah, they literally, what keeps him going are the post-it notes his daughters paste on his door every night to tell him about their day, and to which he is expected to write responses. They're pen pals. They're pen pals,
Pen pals at home.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not saying that it's because every family has their own way of doing things, right? But just whether this is the kind of thing that is celebrated and encouraged, because it's basically putting career and everything else before your family,
But I mean, being an MP is one of those jobs where I think if your weekend is burned, right, generally people around you will be like, it's for a good cause, for the greater good. If you're like some banker or something who spend a whole day in office, people are like, hey, come on, what the fuck? So again, every family is different. I look at this, I'm like, oh shit, that doesn't sound like an enviable life.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they also compensated, pretty okay, right?
Well.
Pretty well, yeah.
But
I read it, I do feel like, I got mixed feelings about reading it.
Yeah. And then right below that is the call to action to subscribe to Straits Times. Unlimited coverage, unmatched value.
Yeah.
$9.90 a month. Come on, man, Straits Times.
But tough. But yeah.
Tough.
So, how about reading some things that actually make us smile?
Oh yeah.
What is your one short comment of recent? I mean, we've had a lot of comments like we talked about recently.
Yeah.
What are your one short comments? Let me pull mine up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the part that it's I mean, the last two episodes, I think it's really talking about people I think the Pritam Singh episode, that people are just happy for us, and I feel happy also because it kind of closes the whole loop on the whole elections thing for us in some way, right? Because
that's true.
Everyone was talking about, when are we getting Pritam Singh on, and then there was that teaser that happened in Serangoon Gardens when he said he'll come on after, and now it's finally happened. So there are people who a lot of congratulations and all, and for example, people are saying can't be more happy for Yalabat, and once again it's a high quality podcast. Congrats on finally getting Pritam Singh on the podcast. Thoroughly enjoyed the episode. This is from Cynthia Lim on YouTube. And this characterizes most of the very, very positive comments about it. And and another one from Enik Mac 09. What a cool having Pritam Singh on your podcast. And to your credit, you did not ask him about his MBTI. On a more serious note, this is a thoughtful discourse on the state of politics in Singapore. A great successor to Mr. Low Tia Kiang. But thanks everyone for the kind words. I mean, we'll try our best to keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, one comment from you on Spotify. I mean, again, this one has quite a lot of comments on Spotify as well. I don't take to Pritam of the rallies, but I really love this version of him here. Just having an honest conversation with no need for theatrics or daggers. His down-to-earth nature really shows here. And I mean, that means a lot, because I think Pritham or anyone at a rally, there is this persona that they're projecting. Even I myself question the effectiveness of rallies at, understanding the politician or the candidate. But if people watch this and they feel like, they see a different side of him, then I think I'm happy to hear that.
So do you feel like you experienced the different side of Pritham in this time that you spent with him also?
I mean, I wouldn't say like... it was what I expected. I think we've met enough people who have spoken at rallies in real life. And after a while, you realize, the persona is totally different. So when he came on, it was more in line with what I thought it would be.
And that I would say is to his credit, right?
Yeah.
That it feels real. Like the Pritham that you see on stage is also the Pritham that you meet in person. And it's also the Pritham that when you watch the promotional videos that Workers' Party puts out, that's him, right?
Yeah.
And then, very few airs about him when we met him and all. So I guess in some way, I'm glad we had that experience.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully this is not the only time he comes back or he comes on.
Yeah.
But glad that we made it happen.
Yeah, correct.
And kudos to him also for coming down.
Yes. So, what is your One Shiok Thing?
Okay, so my One Shiok Thing, right, is something that I heard on a BBC podcast about a documentary that was made, and it's just a whole rabbit hole of things that I find so fascinating. So, have you heard of Mistress Whisperer, Mistress Dispeller?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
If you had to fathom what a Mistress Dispeller is, what would you guess?
Sounds like a Reddit thread, like talking about being a mistress in a relationship or something.
Oh no, it's somewhere, but actually it is a profession that is especially popular in China. So what happens, right? These mistress dispellers. There's a documentary that came out 2024.
Yeah.
2025. It's called Mistress Dispeller. It's a documentary from Elizabeth Loh, who made some award-winning show called Stray about dogs on the streets of Istanbul.
Okay.
So this Mistress Dispeller, what they are, right, is they are contacted normally by the wife of a husband who has a mistress.
Okay.
And what they do is, over the course of a few months, they get to know the husband on a platonic level and the mistress, and somehow convince them both to drop the act.
Oh, really? This is China, is it?
It's China.
Wow.
And I think it's especially popular in China. I think it happens in other countries also. But basically in societies where there is a lot of stigma against people who cheat, there is a lot of dependence on, say, the husband for providing a livelihood.
Yeah.
And where maybe confrontation is not appreciated. So they they have to get to know both the husband and the mistress.
Yeah.
And somehow convince them to, what they're doing is not good. So the husband goes back to the wife, and everything just goes back to normal. And it's an actual profession.
And this is a documentary about it. I see.
Yeah. But apparently this profession has only been come around in the past 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Because, China, there's failing marriage rates, there's rising divorce rates, increasing number of people refusing to get married, an entire love industry aimed at, protecting the institution of marriage. So as the dating scene in China has evolved, I think this is a new job.
Wow.
It's damn crazy.
Wow.
It is crazy. And Mistress Dispeller. So when you Google Mistress Dispeller or Mistress Whisperer and all, there's so many articles that cover this profession.
Wow.
And I think one thing that I remember on the interview also, they said the person who often has it the worst, right, is the mistress.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah, because when the husband goes back to the wife, of course there's that cheating, but the mistress, there's this feeling of totally unwanted and abandonment and stigma and all that.
Interesting.
Then I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
But
cool.
Crazy.
Oh, this is something worth watching.
Yeah. Well, what about you, man?
At first I thought it was like a Netflix reality show or something like that.
Oh.
Competition or something. Mine is a podcast, the Diary of the CEO podcast. I just happened to listen to this latest episode about because I was clickbaited by his thumbnails and his titles. Brain experts warning, watch this before using ChatGPT again. Shocking new discovery.
Wow, that's really clickbaity.
Clickbaity to the max. And even on Spotify, it's very clickbaity. But to his credit, I mean, he brought on two, researchers, Daniel Amen and Terry Sechnowski, who are brain experts. So I think they have a very big discussion about a recent MIT, there was a recent MIT study that hasn't been replicated yet. So it's still just at its early stages, right? MIT study that shows that people who use ChatGPT, adults who use ChatGPT, there's significantly less activity in the prefrontal cortex in your brain after that. So, and this is not even talking about long term. This is like over like a month or 2 months or a few months or something. So, but it hasn't been replicated. So it's just a study that is out there that people need to replicate to verify their science. But it shows that the use of, I think what they did was that the study was that they wanted 3 groups of people to write an essay. So one group was allowed to use ChatGPT, one group was allowed to use Google, and one group just had to write the essay themselves. Then after the essay was done and all that, they measured the 3 groups on how much they remembered from what they wrote, as well as a follow-up exercise to actually write an essay like freehand again, without the help of any of these tools. And the ones that performed the worst were those that use ChatGPT. Google, not so bad, but still not as good as the one that you write yourself.
Not surprising. It's like Google Maps. I think people's sense of direction also has gone down.
Correct. So, in some sense, this is an hour and a half podcast. I thought it was very interesting because it was very, very wide-ranging. It wasn't just about ChatGPT or AI, but they also talk about social media and children and what's good or bad for their brains, and give some very practical advice about how you can still use ChatGPT, but use it in a way that it doesn't cause your brain to atrophy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So little things like using ChatGPT to critique your work rather than asking ChatGPT to write shit for you. Or asking ChatGPT to suggest how you might change it, but not actually change it for you.
Wow, that's discipline, man.
So they talk about that as well. Like, do we need safeguards for ChatGPT? Like, do we need to put in such that like how you can put on your phone, like between the hours of this and that, don't allow me to open Instagram. Maybe for ChatGPT, like you are not allowed to ask ChatGPT to write shit for you.
Do you see the recent case of a kid that committed suicide?
Why?
From chatting with ChatGPT as their therapist.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
So the parents are suing OpenAI.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because all the chat history and all is there.
Yeah.
And the whole argument is that if it was a human therapist, probably they would have pull the person back from the brink of suicide.
Correct, yeah. And they also demonstrate in this podcast about I think Annie is the AI that Elon Musk has created, right? Like that uses a lot of innuendo to talk to people. They talk about, is that ethical considering that we also have a loneliness epidemic where people don't have friends, can't talk to each other and all that. So I thought it was quite an interesting podcast. Of course, again, everything with Diary of a CEO, I think the big criticism of them is like a lot of pseudoscience is also being pushed out on his platform. So take whatever you hear about supplements and all that with a grain of salt. But all the other stuff about using AI and the different techniques for keeping your brain active, I think those are still definitely relevant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Cool.
Wow. Awesome. What a week. So, hope you enjoyed that. Remember, if you enjoyed the podcast, you could tell one person who may not have heard of us yet. You can also follow us on all our social media, Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, our Yalabad newsletter. And what else, Terrence?
If you want to work with us, email us at contact@ministryoffunny.com or just go to ministryoffunny.com.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, everybody. And we'll talk to you all soon.